Okay, Jeremy here, Jeeps Unlimited, 303-666-9020. JeepsUnlimited.net is where you can buy this frame and others like it. We also have them listed a few other places, so you can usually call us and get the best deal, although the website's usually just as cheap. So um, let's see here. This is a CJ7 frame. It's an early 7 frame. It will work 76 to 86. They did make a couple differences on them, but it's really no big deal. If you get an early one, you just mount your shocks differently than you do a later one. That happens to be a later one there. I'm going to list them both, but I'll show you the comparison on them. So you get a comparison video and you get a nice frame video as well. So nice, straight, rust-free. Came off a running and driving CJ7. It was a 78 or 79. I'll have to look at the paperwork and see. California Jeep. All of our frames are now coming from out west. So Colorado started to use salt on the roads not too long ago. Our frames aren't rusty yet, but they will be, I'm sure, soon enough, unfortunately. So now we're just skipping it all and going right out to the main source of rust-free parts, which is going to be Arizona, Nevada, and California. It takes a long time to gather up Jeeps out there. They're very expensive, but it's about the only way I know how to stay in business anymore. Because we specialize in rust-free parts since the beginning. So, without further ado, let me get started on this frame. I'm going to basically show you it as if you were here in person. It does have a bumper on it. It's not welded on, at least not to the top side. Just bolted on, so you can take it off. I'll remove that probably prior to shipping it, as I don't think it'll fit on the frame pallet. But if you want it, I'll give it to you. It's no big deal. It's a decent bumper. It's not heavy duty or anything. So. But these are the areas I love to rot out on CJs. So back in this area here, and this one is nice and solid all the way around the mount and whatnot. Sorry, I didn't have the video on that. And here, and like that, you can pretty much see, this one's a little hard to see a little bit through here, but normally they extend out through this area and like to rot out in. I'll pull those off if it's something that somebody's concerned with. It's not a big deal. I usually don't, just because when we get stuff from California that there's no salt exposed to it, there's never an issue. But if you'd like us to pull them off, that's not a big deal. We can do that. And that just shows you that we're not hiding anything and whatnot. So I have no problem doing that. For sake of time today, I didn't do it. This is your skid plate for your gas tank mount. So this is the front side that mounts to the back. This is the top side of the frame. And then you have your shock towers. For your rear shocks, cross member on the rear section, and then you have your this one's, I should have pried this out for you, but let's see if I can get it out here. I'm gonna have to get a pry bar, but I just like to show those because you can see how perfectly circular they are. There's no rust on this frame. There's a little oxidation on it from where the paint has came off, but all the black you're seeing is still factory paint. Actually, if you look in here, I blasted it earlier pretty hard with we have a high pressure washer, and it peeled off some of the factory paint. There's bare metal there, so that will eventually oxidize and get this discolored brown color. It's not rust. It's definitely want to get some paint on it. I wouldn't leave it exposed, especially to salt. I'd treat this with like a Por 15 or even just simply a Rust-Oleum will work great for it. And then that should be it as far as that goes. So when we do blasting, or we will start blasting, I bought a blast pot a few months ago, and I just haven't got it set up yet. It will cost a little bit more money to do those, but it's not a big deal. If you want that done, take a couple weeks and I can get that done, or you can pay somebody local to do it, whatnot. Some people have some good hook up with those. So let's see, these are your front shocks, front shock towers there, and then obviously your front cross member. And these frames have been measured, squared up, and then we put them on the ground and just make sure that they're not teetering at all. So we do quite a bit on them to make sure. But even better, they come off of running and driving Jeeps, so that's pretty cool. At least it is for most people. It's a little hard in my pocketbook, but anyway, so let's see. What else can I tell you about this? I'm going to flip it over so you see the bottom side of it. I got it kind of dug in the dirt there, but let's talk about the differences between a late model, just in case you do decide. So this is a frame, and I'll list this one in a second separately. This is a beautiful frame. They're both A grade, but this would be an A plus grade just because the factory paint is all intact on it and whatnot. So shock towers in the rear are the same. That's the same. All the mounts are the same. The difference on these guys, if you notice, the one we're listing here has got these guys welded on. Well, this guy, and they're not on here, they have towers that bolt onto them, and they go right there. So if you're going to use, simply if you're going to use this frame on a later CJ7, not a big deal. Your towers are in place, you don't need them. If you're going to use this frame on the early ones, then you need shock towers, and we sell those separately just because those also rot out on some people, so, and then other people don't need them. So that's the only difference on them. Otherwise, they're identical. The holes here for your motor mounts are, you can't see them, there's light's bad, but they're right there, and they're exactly the same, and you can see them here just because there's some oxidation around them on that one. It's multi-fit frame, so it's not like the new TJs or YJs. You don't need a specific one to your motor. These will fit any of the 4, 6, or 8 cylinder motors that Jeep came with. So here's an overall view of it here, and then let me flip it over. They weigh, I don't know, 250 give or take. There. They're a little heavy to do with my left arm. My right arm I can usually do them. Let's see here. Yeah, maybe 300. Ah, with a thud. Okay, so the bottom side cross member, nice and straight, solid. You can see that up close now. No rust there. This area loves to rot out. If you're in the Midwest or East Coast, that might be where you're dealing with issues. These spring perches are in good shape on this. You don't need to replace them, but if you ever do get something where you have to replace one of those, they're riveted on. They are replaceable, but they're not bolted on. And it's kind of cool because on the YJs they actually started welding those on. So, and then these are really common to see rotting out here, which are the little small dinky little bolts they put in these things. Why they did that, I don't know. And that holds your belly pan on for your trans cross member, whatnot. So they're all in good shape. All the threads are good. Again, this is a really nice frame. You won't be disappointed with it. And then back here, of course, I got a little dirt just from sitting on the ground and stuff. This stuff will all come off with it. There's that bare metal there. And then this is really nice. Still nice and smooth. Still factory paint on all that. And then here you go back in this area again, just to show you. There's a little dirt on it there, but again, nothing that we're hiding on that. Excellent condition, both sides. And then this bumper is bolted on, so it will come off with ease. Sometimes they weld those, but you can replace these back supports. This one's in perfect shape. They're getting kind of pricey, about $100 for that back piece, but it is a replaceable part. There are some sections on these you can replace. And then I have so these are both grade A. I do have a grade B minus-ish. I think it's listed right now. If it's not, you can call us about it. It will be knocked down, probably about $500 from what we get on these guys. Anyway, that should do that. So 303-666-9020. I'll give you one more overview of it. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to give me a shout. And again, jeepsunlimited.net. That, you know what I just noticed, not a big deal, but these things bolt on. But this leaf spring perch on the front here is pulled off of this side. We usually pull those, and the guys probably pulled this one not thinking, and then I just started telling them to leave them on. So we sell those if you need one, or I can probably find where that one went. They may have sold it, I'm not sure, but they just bolt right on there. So nothing that you have to re-weld or anything like that. And then I think that's it. So anyway, I hope you have a good day. Thank you.